401ks are for the boomers. I want to get rich before 60. I guess I've never understood these comments, as investing in a 401k doesn't really prevent you from getting rich now. I think the high commission for the insurance agents out there and a lack of education from the TikTokers out there is causing the tax-free growth account to be put down when in fact they're actually incredible if used correctly, right? Let's go ahead and talk about this. Also, before we start, hit that big red button below to subscribe to my page so you can see more videos like this every Monday. It will help me continue to put out videos just like this weekly. Let's start with the basics. A 401k is an account, it's not your investment. You select your investments within a 401k. Your investments literally grow tax-free within this account as long as you're invested. Your employer may default you into a target date fund like a 2055 fund or one of those funds that has a year after the fund, but you have the authority to change this. The name 401k just comes from the fancy code in the tax code. And a 401k is an excellent investment vehicle that's geared to help you retire if you know how to use it and know it's not a scam. If someone says it's a scam, I can guarantee that one of three things are true. They're under 18, they sell whole life insurance, or they lack education. Simple as that. It is rare any investment products are actually scams. They all have their purpose, and you just have to ensure that that purpose fits your needs. A 401k is just an employer-sponsored retirement investment option. Your employer decides the 401k plan you're provided with. Some 401ks are great and some suck. When I was at Deloitte, I invested in mine. At the same time, we did not invest in my wife's. Deloitte's 401k is through Vanguard, and my wife's 401k was through Principal. And as you know, Deloitte is a huge company and buys the best of the best. My wife's company, on the other hand, is smaller in nature and they bought a cheaper 401k plan. And you get what you pay for. As an employee, you have zero control of this. It's just kind of who you end up with. However, when you look at your 401k, here's what you need to assess. Provider, investment options, and fees. My Vanguard 401k was phenomenal with great mutual funds and low fees. On the other hand, my wife's Principal 401k was horrendous with actively managed mutual funds and very high fees. Typically, you're gonna have about 15 to 20 fund options within a 401k. Many companies offer a Roth or post-tax or a traditional or pre-tax option. And this is not the same as a Roth IRA as many assume, completely different. And I would do a future video on IRAs. When you look into your retirement, here's how 401ks come into play. I would begin by calculating your gross income annually. So let's say you made $100,000 last year per your tax return. I would use the following as a rule of thumb for retirement. Invest 15% of your gross income into retirement. Then in order, number one, invest up to the company match. Number two, max out your IRA. And number three, invest the remaining portion into your 401k. So let's calculate this using our example above and a 3% match. So step one would be $3,000, $100,000 times 3% match. Number two would be $6,000 in IRA max limit in 2022. And number three is the remaining to reach 15% or $6,000. So therefore your result would be that an IRA would be invested $6,000 annually and the 401k would be invested $9,000 annually. So that would be 15% of $100,000 or $15,000. Then the $15,000 will ideally be split up bi-weekly throughout the entire year. So for cash flow reasons, I would offset your 401k and your IRA. So if your company pays you on the first and third Friday of every single month, go ahead and set up your IRA to auto invest on the second and fourth Friday of every month. Just a rule of thumb, but it might help you. And quick disclosure, this is a rule of thumb and your retirement needs may be much different. But the main reason people call 401k scams is because they don't believe that you can touch your money before 59 and a half. Wrong. There are 3 specific rules I will do a video on later that you can early withdrawal without penalty. The Rule of 55, the Roth conversion ladder, and 72T. And insurance agents typically attack this perceived weakness. But be careful when somebody says you can be your own bank, infinite banking, IUL, MPI, etc. Be very careful with that. They're either entirely foolish or trying to sell you on their insurance product. They receive high commissions for all those products listed, which is why they're marketed to you so much. So be very careful. It's hard to ignore the fact that 401ks are a tax-free growth vehicle where you pay tax on the way in or on the way out, but the in between, maybe the 30, 40 years that you have are literally tax-free. It's hard to beat. So look into 401ks and I hope this helps you with it. And then remember, every account has its purpose. There are rarely scams. It usually just comes down to the wrong account being marketed to the wrong person. So understand, educate, and select your accounts based on your goals. It's really that simple. And as a reminder, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to click the subscribe button below to see more of these videos. And lastly, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.